Let us move further. Now in this question, if you see, I need a squared plus b squared, right? So what clicks in my mind is that I take its conjugate first. So it will be a minus iota b, right? When I multiply a plus iota b and a minus iota b, I'll get a square plus b square, right? This is what I'm doing here. So a conjugate of a minus a plus iota b is a minus iota b, and on the right hand side the conjugate will be x minus iota squared divided by 2x square plus 1. Now the denominator is real, so you don't have to change anything. You just have to change iota to minus iota, right? So now if I multiply left hand side, that is this, with this, I'll get a square plus b square on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, if I multiply these two expressions, this one and this one, then in the numerator I'll have x plus iota squared into x minus iota squared, and in the denominator I have 2x square plus 1 whole square. And numerator, if you multiply this with this expression, then what will you have? X squared plus 1 inside and whole square divided by 2x square plus 1 whole square. So this is what you were looking for. So this was a pretty simple question. You just need to take conjugate and multiply. Basically we are applying that identity. Z bar is equal to mod z squared. This is a simple calculation problem, so let's do that. Real part of z1 z2 upon z1 bar I require, right? So let us first of all find z1 z2. It will be equal to 2 minus iota into minus 2 plus iota, and what will be minus 4 plus 2 iota plus 2 iota, and then minus iota squared. Okay, so this is plus 1, this is minus 4, so minus 3 plus 4 iota, and it should be divided by z1 bar. So that is, what is z1 bar? It is 2 plus iota. So if I divide it with 2 plus iota, I'll get z1 z2 upon z1 bar. So it will be equal to minus 3 plus 4 iota divided by 2 plus iota. So let me write it into a plus iota b form. It will be equal to minus 6 plus 8 iota plus 3 iota minus 4 iota squared. And in the denominator I'll have 4 plus 1, right? Now it will be equal to, this is 11 iota and this is plus 4. Plus 4 minus 6 is minus 2 divided by 5. I am separating the real part and imaginary part. This is 11 iota, so iota into 11 by 5. This is the real part that I was looking for. So I don't think there was anything in this question. So there was nothing in this question apart from the calculation. Okay, let us look at the second part. Second part, I want to calculate imaginary part of 1 by z1 bar. So how can there be an imaginary part? Because I know z bar is equal to mod z squared, which is a real number, right? So if it is a real number, imaginary part of this real number will be 0, right? z1 bar will be equal to mod z1 squared. So mod z1 squared is a real number. So imaginary part of this number is going to be equal to 0. So the answer of the second part is 0, and first part it is minus 2 by 5. Find the modulus and argument of the complex number 1 plus 2 iota divided by 1 minus 3 iota. So let me bring it into a plus iota b form. There are ways to find it directly also without bringing it to a plus iota b form. What you can do is you can take their mode separately, because in the numerator, if you see, the modulus will be 1 plus 4, that is root 5, and in the denominator it will be 1 plus 9 root 10. So effectively it will be 1 by root 2. This will be the mod. Okay, but to calculate the argument, you should know this formula, that argument of z1 by z2 is equal to argument of z1 minus argument of z2 plus 2k pi, right? Then you bring it into the desired form or desired quadrant. Rather, now in your syllabus, first of all we need to convert it into a plus iota b form, then we need to check. So let us check it now. The numerator will become 1 plus 2 iota plus 3 iota plus 6 iota squared divided by 1 plus 9. So I'll have, this is minus 6 plus 1 minus 5 plus 5 iota divided by 10, and it will be equal to minus 1 plus iota by 2, right? So the modulus will be, mod z will be equal to square root of minus 1 by 2 squared plus 1 by 2 squared. This is 1 by 4, this is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is 1 by 2, and square root will give me 1 by root 2, right? This is the modulus. Now we will talk about the argument. For argument, you need to see, let me write it separately, minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 iota. So if I find tan phi, it will be equal to pi by 4. And which quadrant is this? X coordinate is negative, y coordinate is positive, so it is second quadrant, right? What I am saying is tan phi will be equal to mod of 1 by 2 divided by minus 1 by 2. So it will be equal to 1, right? So phi will be equal to pi by 4. Now I need to check the quadrant. Quadrant is second quadrant because x coordinate is negative, y is positive. So in second quadrant we write theta or argument as pi minus phi, which is pi minus pi by 4, hence it will be equal to 3 pi by 4. This is the argument and this is the modulus. Find the real numbers x and y if this product is the conjugate of this. So what is the conjugate of this? Minus 6 plus 24 iota, right? And this is equal to this complex number here. If it is conjugate of this, now this complex number should be equal to this. So what I'll do is I'll simplify this further and bring it into a plus iota b form, then equate the real parts and imaginary parts. So let us work on this one first. So this will be 3x minus 3y iota plus 5x iota minus 5y iota squared, and I can write it as 3x minus 5y, 3x minus 5y, or this will be minus 1, so this will be 3x plus 5y. And if I take iota outside, I can write it as 5x minus 3y, and it is equal to minus 6 plus 24 iota. Now you only have to equate this with this, so it will give you 3x plus 5y will be equal to minus 6, 5x minus 3y will be equal to 24. Now I just need to solve these linear equations. So let me first multiply it with 5 and multiply the second one with 3. Okay, now if I subtract, this term containing x will get cancelled, and this will be 25y minus of minus 9y, so 34y, and it will be equal to minus 30 minus 72, so minus 102, hence y will be equal to negative 3. And if y is minus 3, I will put it here in the first one. Y minus 3 will give me minus 15 here. If I bring it here, it will become 9. 3x equal to 9 means x will be equal to 3. So x is 3, y is equal to minus 3. This is my answer. So let's move forward. modulus of this complex number written here will be, let us first of all simplify it. So the denominator will become 1 into 1 minus iota into 1 plus iota. So 1 plus 1. Okay. And the numerator will be 1 plus iota whole square minus 1 minus iota whole square. So if you know about these squares, this is a square minus b square form. So you can write it as a minus b and a plus b. Also, you should know that this will give you 1 square plus iota square plus 2 iota. This will give you 1 square plus iota square minus 2 iota. So effectively you will have 2 iota minus of minus 2 iota, that is 4 iota from it, divided by 2. So it will have 2 iota as your answer. But if you don't want to use this shortcut, you can do is 1 plus iota plus 1 minus iota and 1 plus iota minus 1 minus iota. So that means this, divided by 2. Now if you see, this iota will get cancelled. This is 2 here, and from here I'll have 2 iota. So 2 into 2 iota, that is 4 iota by 2 iota, which is a purely real number, and modulus will be obviously 2, right? Because you can write this number as 0 plus 2 iota, and what is the modulus? 0 squared plus 2 squared square root, that is 4 square root 2. And if you know what is 2 iota, 2 iota will be somewhere here. This is the point representing this complex number 2 iota. So you already know its modulus will be this distance, that is 2. Here we need to cube this. If you know the formula for cube, you can go directly. Otherwise, what you can do is you can square it, x square minus y squared plus 2xy iota, and multiply it with x plus iota y, and it is equal to u plus iota v, and we need to find this expression, right? So let us first of all bring this into some desired form, because see, u is the real part of this complex number, v is the imaginary part. So I am trying to find the real part of this complex number and imaginary part of this complex number. Then I'll equate them, okay, and see what will happen. So x, if I multiply here, will give me x cubed minus xy squared, or you could have written it as, let me keep it outside, because what I'm trying to do here is I'll put real part equal to u. So I need x outside so that I can take it here and write it as u by x, which I need for the solution. Okay, so let me show you what I'm trying to say. X I don't have to multiply here. So x into x square minus y square, I'm writing this separately, and then plus 2 x square y iota, then plus iota y x square minus y square, and iota squared will become minus 1, so minus 2xy square. Now let me club the real part. So this is the real part. X I'll keep outside, and inside I'll have x square minus y square minus 2y square, that is x squared minus 3y square. And when I take y common, I'll have 2x square iota plus x square minus y square iota. So let me take iota also outside. This is equal to u plus iota v. Now I can find value of u by x, because I can compare the real parts and imaginary parts of both the sides. So u will be equal to this expression, hence u by x will be equal to x square minus y square minus 2y square, that is x square minus 3y square. And what will be v by x or v by y, because I can compare this v equal to this into this. So v by y will be equal to this expression that is written inside the bracket. This is 3x square minus y square. 3x square minus y square. I hope I am not confusing you in the calculation. What I just want you to do is, I want you to solve this expression on the left hand side and compare the real part and imaginary parts. Okay, so you will get some expression for u and for v. So I want you to find u by x and v by y. Then I just want you to add them to find the final solution. U by x plus v by y will be equal to 4x square minus 4y square. This is what you need. So we have shown what was required. Okay. Find the number of non-integral solutions of the equation. What is the equation? We are looking for the non-zero integral solutions of this equation, right? Why do I say non-zero? Because 0 can be a solution, because if I put x equal to 0 here, left hand side will become 1 and right hand side will also become 1. So 0 satisfies it. We do not want to find this solution 0. We want non-zero integral solutions. So let us look at what left hand side is. I know 1 minus iota mod is root 2, right? We have found it many times. So root 2 raised to power x means 2 raised to power x by 2. Okay, it is the left hand side, and on the right hand side I'll have 2 raised to power x. So if these have to be equal, then x by 2 will be equal to x, right? And there is no other value of x that will satisfy it apart from 0, right? Because it is nothing but x minus x by 2. So it will be equal to 0. So x into 1 minus 1 by 2 will be equal to 0. Hence x will be equal to 0. So which cannot be our solution. So what are the non-zero integral solutions? How many are these? 0. So we cannot have a non-zero solution for this equation. I think we skipped this question, right? So let's do this question here. Now mod beta is given as 1, and we also know that beta into beta bar is going to be equal to mod beta squared. So it is equal to 1, right? Beta into beta bar is mod beta squared, which is 1. Okay. Now we need to find mod of beta minus alpha divided by 1 plus divided by 1 minus 1 minus alpha bar beta, right? This is what we need to find out. So I know that z into z bar is mod z squared. So I am considering this complex number that is written inside and multiplying it with its conjugate. So let me see. Okay, if I multiply this with its conjugate, what will be its conjugate? Beta bar minus alpha bar divided by 1 minus alpha bar conjugate of conjugate is alpha, right? Then beta bar. And if I multiply these, I will get mod of this squared, right? Whatever I will get on the right hand side will be square of what I require. Okay, so let us check what do we have here. If I multiply these, the numerator will become beta beta bar minus alpha beta bar minus beta alpha bar minus minus plus alpha alpha bar, and in the denominator I'll have 1 minus alpha beta bar, right? I have multiplied 1 with it. Now I am multiplying this alpha bar beta plus it will be alpha bar alpha beta beta bar. Okay, you need to cross check the calculation. Now I know beta into beta bar is mod beta squared, which is 1. So this will be 1 minus alpha beta bar minus beta alpha bar. and this is alpha bar, which is mod alpha squared divided by, this is 1 minus alpha beta bar minus beta alpha bar. I am writing this as this because this is commutative, so you can write it like this. Beta into beta bar we know is 1, so this is alpha bar into alpha, which is mod alpha squared. If you notice, this numerator and denominator both are same, so I am cancelling these. It is equal to 1. So this expression is equal to 1. So square root of this will give me my answer, which is also 1. So this is equal to 1. I hope you would have found this question very simple. So let us see what do we have next. This is, I think, probably the simplest question of this exercise, because if this is equal to a plus iota b, then we need to show this expression. And to generate these a square plus b square, what I'll do is I'll take modulus of this expression. So mod of this entire expression on the left hand side, a plus iota b into a c plus iota d into e plus iota f into g plus iota h, will be nothing but mod of these individual complex numbers, a plus iota b, mod of c plus iota d. I hope you got this point, what I am trying to say, that mod of z1 into z2 into z3 into z4 will be equal to mod z1 into mod z2 into mod z3 into mod z4. Right? This is what I am trying to say. So let's do that. So if I take mod of this, it will be equal to square root of a square plus b square into square root of c square plus d square, e square plus f square, g square plus h square. This will be my left hand side, and on the right hand side I'll have a squared plus b square. Now you see that if I square both sides, I'll get the desired expression. So square both sides and write your answer. Now for this, 1 plus iota raised to power m divided by 1 minus iota raised to power m. We know we have solved this expression many times in this exercise itself. I want you to solve it now yourself, because this will come out to be iota, right? We have done it, I think, 2-3 times in this exercise itself. So this is, on the left hand side it is in iota raised to power m, and on the right hand side it is 1. So I know m should be multiple of 4, and I need its least integral value. So the least positive integer that I'll write here is 1, right? So m should be equal to 4 for iota raised to power m equal to 1, and m to be the least integral value.